Sitting round the fire, playing games with my sweet. She plays out marshmallow, gosh, that's hard to beat. Oh, how I desire to toast that mallow man, but it keeps on going back to her hand.
Come on now, let's play some Lorcana.
We'll smash some s'mores like Hans and Princess Anna. We'll
Lick a Mickey bar to his friendly face, invites you through a smorgasbord of Lord Smorcana.
Welcome back to Smorcana. We're still the reigning world's #1 Lorcana / Disney / snack podcast. I'm Brett.
I'm Katie.
And we are so excited for episode 11 on this extremely niche podcast.
It's niche, but it's working.
Yeah, I think it's going pretty well.
I think there have been a lot of other people who've wanted to start snack-themed Lorcana podcasts, and I think that we've honestly scared some of them away.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard from any of them since we started the podcast.
Yeah, so they must be scared.
So that's it, I guess.
So that's our goal, is to intimidate people.
Oops, we're too scary. Sorry.
Katie, are you tired?
I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy, like physically and mentally. It's been a long weekend.
It's been a long weekend. You have been playing your little butt off.
Yeah, it feels like it's been like an hour. And it also feels like it's been 8 days.
That is set champ season.
But it was so fun. So I got to go to 2 set championships this weekend. One at our local gaming store's chain store, like it's
sister store,
about an hour away from our home in Portland, which was really fun. It was so cool to see that store. But that was awesome. It was my first time playing in a big tournament like that. So it was like the adrenaline hit and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, after your first round, you just texted me like beast mode and like a whole bunch of gifs of beast.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was awesome.
But you'll get more into that with our appetizer course.
Yeah, definitely.
Get the whole rundown.
Right. So I played in Portland and I also played today in Somersworth, the one that's only 8 minutes from our house.
And now we're here recording just a couple of hours later.
Yeah, we can't stop. Once you're on that Lorcana train, we couldn't not record the podcast today. We normally record on Sundays anyway, so it's just like perfect.
Mm-hmm. Now the podcast, we're doing pretty well. We had a huge spike in listenership this past week because I think everybody was equally pumped for the set champs.
Taking in all that sweet, sweet content.
And so if you're coming back after your first little taste of Smorcana last week, we're so excited that you decided to stick with us for another course.
Hooray.
Another
Eat up.
meal, another repast.
Yes, we've made all kinds of lovely dishes for today. We made some spicy dishes for today, too. We got a little hot and spicy.
Yeah, we're going to try to spice up some of the more bland cards out there. Figure out some of the worst cards and how we might improve them. That'll be the main course. We also get to, for the first time, draw a giveaway winner.
OMG.
So we had a lot of really fun responses to our question.
Yes, our question was, who do you believe has the best manners in Disney characters? Like, who of the Disney characters do you believe has the best manners? We heard a lot of different answers, actually. I was surprised by some of the answers.
Yeah, some really surprising ones. We had somebody say the Caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland, and that was a unique answer.
We had a couple of people who said Belle, which is fair. She has very good manners. I would agree.
Belle was the winner. And we had some really, really thoughtful responses as to why Belle was the winner.
Yeah, we heard all kinds of cool things. We had someone wrote in with Chen Po from Mulan.
That was
our #1 fan.
Super fan Jimmy. Thanks, Jimmy.
Shout out to Jimmy.
All right, I have to read at least one of these responses about Belle because, some of these were really, really good and really well thought out.
Yeah, please do.
So this is from one of our listeners. So George says, in reality, I think Belle has the best manners. She not only carries herself with the grace that someone with good manners would have, but she even has a little arc in the movie where she teaches the Beast / Prince Adam proper manners and etiquette. It's hard for a coach to teach their students if they don't know the game themselves. Also, Belle treated the animated object characters nicely despite them being part of the castle of her father's captor. Great response.
Yeah, that's all you really have to say, right? Belle is the nicest person in Disney lore, you could argue.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like the kindest overall, including great manners.
Mm-hmm,
Just when she's eating all those dishes, she's so kind. She's got her little napkin. She's all ready.
Another quick shout out to a great Belle response. This was from Mike. Mike said about Belle, almost everyone in the town treated her like an outsider and a weirdo, but she responded with respect and dignity. Gaston's behavior was deeply predatory, but she was very direct with him about her feelings without belittling him. Belle is my pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she is. She's kind to Gaston, and she shouldn't be. Doesn't need to be. The most aggressive thing she does is like close the door on him. And as she's doing it, she's apologizing. Like, ugh.
Right. Shout out to somebody who said the Grand Duke.
Ooh, also a good one.
Thoughtful response.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of varied responses. So that was really, really cool. Thank you so much for writing in and entering our first giveaway contest.
Yeah, and it was so cool to hear from you all. We're going to spin a magical wheel right here, right now on the pod.
As we record. So we have everybody who entered put into wheelofnames.com.
Yep.
And so, Katie, you want to do the honors and spin this
yes, I
wheel?
do.
All right, how do we do this?
All right, here we go. I'm going to click
Okay.
the wheel. It's spinning.
Oh, it's making a cute little noise too, like the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, the winner! E.T. Initials E.T. who wrote in with the response for Belle.
Belle, we knew Belle was going to take it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You know, I think it was more likely than not actually that we would have Belle, somebody who picked Belle as the winner. So congratulations to E.T. I will be emailing you shortly to get your address and send you some puppy sleeves. And I think I have fun doing this. We're definitely going to do more giveaways.
Oh my God, definitely. We got some swag this weekend that we could put together maybe for a giveaway coming up soon.
Yeah, I love giving away swag. It's fun to connect with y'all. It was really fun to read all of your responses. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Quick little note from the weekend, I have to say.
We opened a lot of packs.
We opened a bunch of packs. We opened a box of First Chapter.
A whole box.
We had only opened, I want to say, 15 packs of First Chapter ever.
And that's at the most, maybe 15.
Yeah. So we were really excited to see that our friendly local gaming store was offering some First Chapter packs to some of the regulars at MSRP. On the day that they arrived. So was able to hop in there and scoop up a box of First Chapter.
It was such a dream come true. We had talked about how great it would be to have a box of First Chapter so many times thinking that it would never happen. And it was so cool. You texted me that we could get a box of First Chapter, and I was like, oh, I think I audibly gasped at my phone because it was so cool. So we opened that like very slowly throughout the week as like a little treat for getting through the workday.
Yeah, we opened, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 packs a day for a few days. That was really, really fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And we had some good pulls. You know, we completed our Surfer Stitch play set. We unpacked our first Takeoff foil.
Yeah.
That was he looks really cool, even if he's not a great card.
Gorgeous. We got a John Silver.
Finished off our Belle play sets, Strange but Special. So yeah, really good box. And plus we got, some extras of Tinkerbell and Be Prepared and Maui and Stitch Rockstar. So yeah, a really good box. That was really cool. No Enchanted, unfortunately.
Until
Katie picked up 6 more packs, which was the limit. They put a limit on the number of packs you could get at the store today, just a couple hours ago. So, so that everybody could get some packs. But you picked up 6 packs.
I picked up 6 First Chapter packs. I sat with them for a while. You came back from working. You had to work this weekend, so you couldn't compete, but you came back at the end of it to hang out and check how it was going on. And we were going to crack the packs open, and then Laura, who runs our favorite local gaming store, offered to swap them out with other cards for good luck. And she swapped out the packs for good luck just at random, and you opened something pretty cool.
Yeah, so we were all sitting around, it was you and I and Rob and Laura were all sitting around. I said, all right, and Shannon. And I said, everybody grab a pack and crack one. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
So we were all, thumping cards down one by one from the top of the pack. And I got, if it's not Baroque. And I was like, oh
no.
But then right behind, if it's not Baroque, was an enchanted Simba.
So cool.
So cool. That card is gorgeous.
I mean, it's just like, it's incredible for us to have gotten an enchanted that's not a location that nobody uses.
Yeah.
Like that was cool.
It was really cool.
It was cool to have like IP that we like and enjoy on a cool enchanted card was like awesome.
Yeah. It was really cool. Very unexpected and a nice cap to the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm hungry after all this. I've been performing all weekend as a witch
Yes.
at all in Macbeth, and I've been
straight up jamming
your brain. Yeah.
Straight up cooking.
Yeah, you've been cooking all weekend, so I think it's time we replenish the stores here and get some food in us, huh?
Yeah, let's get some apps. Excuse me.
Bonsoir, madame. Comment ça va?
Oh, hi, Francois.
How are you tonight, madame?
Francois, I'm doing okay. I'm a little logy, but I'm okay. Besides that, how are you doing, Francois?
I am doing very well. Perhaps I can help you by bringing some victuals for you. Perhaps that will be, how you say, pick me up.
That would be a pick me up. Definitely. We would love some apps today. What do you have?
Bien sûr, I will return in a moment.
Did you hear that? He's got some kind of fancy appetizer back in the kitchen.
Oh, here they come. Look at this. Oh, it's a whole report about 2 set championships.
Oh my God, it's huge.
Wow, there's so much to discuss and devour here.
This appetizer is massive. It's like a loaded plate of garlic cheese breadsticks.
And unfortunately, I can't take a single bite of them.
You can't eat any of it.
They're all for you.
Well, you absorbed the vibes today, and we'll check in with you about that. You didn't get to come to Portland yesterday at all.
No, how was it up there?
So yesterday, I made the treacherous journey of a whole 54 minutes with a delightful coffee and a lovely podcast on up to South Portland and competed in my first ever set championship, my first ever
and your biggest
tournament.
The biggest tournament you've been in by quite a bit, right? I mean, there were 30-ish people.
Yeah, I think about 30. It was great. I mean, as soon as it started, I was playing my Ruby Amethyst, kind of like what we talked about that last week, which I felt good about. We made a late game change right before I left the house and added some 3-cost Maleficence, which I think changed the whole game. I cannot imagine playing that deck without that.
Uh-huh.
So I felt really good about my deck. I won my first match, which was, an awesome way for me to start my championship kind of journey, my tournament journey. It was a really good boost. I felt like I was completely invincible after that.
I was checking my phone, as I was coming off stage between scenes and things, and I just saw beast mode. I'm invincible. All caps.
Yeah.
I won round 1. I was very comforted because, I can't think of a time when I drove to a tournament an hour away by myself without knowing the store or people who were going to be there. I don't think I've ever done that. So it takes some courage. It's definitely a little nerve-wracking just going to a completely unknown environment like that by yourself and play well. So, kudos to you. Really good job.
It was a lot of fun. I felt a really fun rush of adrenaline, similar to performing in a way, really, that I wanted to do a good job. I felt like I had prepared for it. It was a blast. I ended up going 2 wins and 3 losses in South Portland. I felt like I played really well. I was pretty proud of how I did. And the reality is that I just hadn't played against that many people in paper. I hadn't played against that many different decks in paper, especially because I picked my deck late. I picked Ruby Amethyst only a couple weeks before the set championships. So I didn't have that much time to play against people in person. We're both busy working all the time, so I didn't have a lot of time to go and play at our store. But even with that, I still had a really great time, and I felt like I did pretty well.
Yeah, and I mean, your game scores, you were about 500 or one game over 500 on the whole weekend, I think. So, your match scores weren't as strong, but I think that if you had flipped one game on each day, you had a shot at top 8. So you weren't that far off.
Yeah, I felt great. I only got shut out once. I only had a match with, no wins once. So it was a good way to feel.
Yeah.
I felt really good about it. I felt really positive going into today. So I didn't make it to the top 8 yesterday, but I came back this morning with a vengeance. I was ready to hit that beast mode again. And I kept my deck pretty much the same. A change that I made, though, was that I did not play any Teeth and Ambitions yesterday with this Ruby Amethyst list. But in those games, I realized how badly I wanted that direct damage to just evasive cards I was seeing, to just little 2-drop guys everywhere that I was seeing that I just really needed to pwn, and my deck couldn't quite pwn them. So adding those today was great. I felt that impact immediately in the games.
Looking around the room, there were so many green, so many emerald decks out there. It seems like Teeth ended up being a really good call. So, I think it was a smart change today. It was good instincts.
Yeah, it was incredible against an Emerald Amethyst. That Ursula aggro deck was awesome against that. Felt really good when I could pop that off. That was a good feeling.
And Ruby Amethyst is a difficult deck to play in the sense that not only do you have to know how to pilot your end of things well as a baseline, but you really do need meta knowledge of most decks to perform really well. You have to adapt your game plan. It's not a very linear deck. And so I think you did especially well considering that you don't have a ton of experience against a wide range of meta decks. You have, maybe 10 games on Pixelborn, and then you play against whatever decks we have built. So I think all things considered, for your first big competitive events, you have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, I feel really good about it. I came out of today with 2 wins and 3 losses, which is, better than I ever would have thought I would have done a couple months ago when I was afraid of doing a sealed event. So it felt really good. I had a lot of fun too. It was a great day, great vibes. We met a lot of cool people. It was a blast. Yeah, I had an awesome time. Our game store diversions ran it really well. It felt really clean and fair and fun.
We're always shouting out diversions, but if you're ever in New Hampshire, especially on the seacoast or going up towards Portland, Maine, Diversions is an amazing store it's really, really well run, super clean. We love it there. Can't say enough good things.
Impeccable vibes.
Impeccable vibes.
When you got out of your show, you called to see how it was, and I had just finished my last match. My last match, I just got, absolutely demolished by an aggro deck, and I was so deflated from playing for the last 2 days. But I called you and I said, hey, the vibes here are still immaculate. You got to come by and check it out. And our number one podcast fan, Jimmy, had made it to the top 8.
Yeah, so I was able to get out of my show and head over to the store to catch the top 8 round where Jimmy was playing. I tried to maintain a healthy distance so that my squealing wouldn't be heard as I was watching the game, but he played very, very well and was able to make it to top 4. So shout out to Jimmy for getting his stitch.
Oh, so cool.
Way to go.
We got to hold his stitch briefly in our hands and smell it and take in the aroma of the beautiful stitch.
Did you taste it? I gave it a lick.
Yeah, I tasted it for sure.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm not washing my hands, certainly. I know we touched a sleeve within a sleeve, but still.
You could still taste it. Yeah, it was really nice to, even if I couldn't participate, take in some of the vibes, as it were, and talk to some folks who were in from out of town. Overall, it seemed like everybody had a pretty good time. Not many hiccups.
Yeah, I had some great matchups, and I had a really great match against one of our friends, Seth, who was playing a Steel Song deck. We had some really tight games. We went to 3, playing best out of 3, and it was awesome. It was a good day.
Yeah,
Had a lot of fun.
Yeah. I will say that there is a little bit of a disparity in the way that people approach the set championships, and I think maybe the way that they were intended to be approached. And this is tricky, and I don't know how hard my opinions are on this, but I hope that in the future, Ravensburger finds a way to encourage folks whose first LCG or TCG is Lorcana to come back to do more events like this. I think the current format with, just the 4 stitches and the 2 playmats, it encourages spikes, as it were, competitive players to travel all around, go to as many events as they possibly can, and take down as many stitches as they possibly can. And so I could see simmering underneath all of this, these intense nerves about these events. And I do think that there's a way to encourage or to commemorate participation. And, the whole everybody gets a trophy thing gets a lot of flack. But I do think that there's merit to give everybody a card that says, into the Inklands Set Championships 2024,
right.
Just to have a token that they can come away with and say, it was really cool. I participated in this thing with everybody and I met cool people, and this is what commemorates that. Because having 4 out of 30 people get something like that does leave a little bit of a bad taste and does encourage, because the prices on the stitches and the playmats are going to be enough that it does encourage folks to travel around and get as many as they can.
Yeah, I think that I enjoy the competitive nature of it. I think that it's a fun part of the game to a degree, right? I really liked that feeling of, I have some kind of a goal to play for. I get something special if I win. But I agree. I think that it's a little bit of a letdown when you get you just kind of leave and you feel like, oh, okay, I was stressed out for kind of nothing.
Yeah.
It's fun and it's a fun day, but I think that also leads people to be really nervous. I know that at some of these games I was playing against people whose hands were shaking because they were so nervous.
And it shouldn't be that way.
It's just a fun card game. The stakes are not that. The stakes are not, if you lose, you'll never be able to play this game again. Or if you lose, you have to pay $1,000. It's just, the stakes just aren't that high.
Right. There can be stakes. There can be good prizing, as well as an atmosphere that encourages a lot of people to play. And I think something that Divergence did that was really helpful was, shout out to Laura for putting out those raffle tickets at the tables. Can you talk about that? Because I kind of missed a lot of that.
Yeah, it was awesome. So at everybody's seat today, when we all sat down, there was a ticket, a red raffle ticket
stub
on everyone's table, so that after the first game, you could pick up your ticket and bring it to the front desk, and you got a prize for being there. You got some promo cards, some pins, there were packs. It was awesome. It just felt like a really nice boost, especially after the first match. Win or lose, you're feeling things, you're feeling a certain way. It was just really nice to get that boost. And it was especially cool for us because you were still there. You were there watching before you had to go to your show, so you got to open up some packs together, and that was fun.
Yeah.
To have a little piece of the day too.
Encouraging participation, that's really, really great. I think it adds to the value proposition of attending a tournament like this, and helps alleviate that feeling of, well, why did I just put myself through all that stress?
Right, exactly.
So, some kinks maybe to iron out with future set championships. I think it's great to have exclusive prizes, because I think it is great to have a competitive scene. I want to play competitively,
Of course.
It's very attractive to me as a longtime card game player.
I can see how it's very addictive now, too.
It's fun to compete. It's fun to try your ideas, to test your strategies out, right? That's what makes the card games great. There's a great opportunity for Lorcana to distinguish itself. You have a new audience for card games. We see so many families and couples coming in who haven't played a game like this before, and how great would it be to get all of them participating in these events? And that's going to take a little bit of a different approach where it isn't just about competition. It's about competition and camaraderie.
Definitely.
Anything else about set championships? Anything else you want to say? Oh, I know. We were going to attend a third set championship.
Oh, we so were. We were going to
Tomorrow.
attend a third one tomorrow night. But it's pretty far away.
It's 2 hours away, and because it's on a weeknight, I was going to be able to potentially attend, but it's very far, and it seems like because it's starting so late, there are very few Swiss rounds, and so to drive all of that way and have it effectively be in a single elimination tournament would be potentially not that fun.
Yeah, it just didn't feel worth it at the end of the day here.
And it does kind of feel like, similarly, I think I would have a problem like driving that far to a store. And I know that this store, I'm excited to check them out because they are close to some of my family. But I would feel bad going in there for the first time when knowing that they have weekly events and then winning a prize from when somebody who goes there every week didn't get one. I mean,
Right.
That's just me, and I don't begrudge anybody else doing that. I think you're well within your rights, and I want to see people traveling around to new places, but I feel like I would feel badly about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to what we were just talking about, that where does that blend into people who are driving to 7 or 8 of these just to win the prizes? I mean, that wouldn't be your intention, but it is that same kind of situation.
Totally.
But overall, I had a great time at the set championships, and I can't wait for the next ones.
Me neither. I will definitely not have a show because I don't think I'm performing this summer, so I will be at the next ones.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Watch out.
blast. Beast mode!
I'm going to go to 7 or 8 and win a bunch of promos.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Excuse me.
Ah oui, madame. Comment ça va? Did you enjoy your appetizer course?
Oh, we really did. It was delicious. It was it was I would
Très
say
bien.
I'd say 2 of the breadsticks were really great. 3 not so good.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that next time perhaps a totality of the breadsticks will be made to your liking.
That's okay. Overall, had a great time with the breadsticks still. We'd like to move on to our main course here.
Ah, very well. If you don't mind, we have some of our perhaps lesser ordered cards that we would like to try out on you tonight. The chef is trying to put an extra bit of spice on them to make them more attractive.
Oh, I see. Okay. So we're trying to spice up boring cards.
Ah oui, madame, I will bring them your way.
That's delicious.
Ooh, ugh. Ugh.
Gross.
This is one of the worst meals we've ever been served on Lorcana.
You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
This is similar to Chef Gusteau's ratatouille, which
Pre-Remy.
everyone thought was disgusting, right?
And all you need to do is add a little rat to your meal.
You just need to add a little rat to jazz it up. but really, we are pulling a Remy with this main course today. We're taking terrible, underrated cards that, I don't know, don't work. People don't play for some reason. And we're going to zhuzh them up. We're going to make them a very tasty ratatouille.
Yeah, absolutely. The linguine treatment.
Well, Remy treatment.
Yeah.
The Remy pulling Linguini's hair treatment.
There we go. Okay. Now, when we were looking for cards that needed some tweaking, we're kind of skipping over vanilla-ish cards. We're not going to talk about Jumba Jukiba, who's a 5-cost, 4-strength, 5 willpower card, right? Knowing that Pooh Honey Wizard has the same stat line and is a 5/5 for 5, right? So that's not that exciting to talk about. We could talk about, just adding stats to vanilla cards all day. We wanted to look for cards that have potentially interesting mechanics, but whose payoffs aren't ever worth it.
Yeah, right.
So these are, gross tasting cards that have an appealing ingredient involved somehow.
Yeah. Let's dive into it.
All right. So this first one here is
Blech.
it looks like an edible clock.
Yeah, it's like an alt art edible clock.
Like a crunchy broken clock.
That's a rare somehow.
It's a rare. It's if it's not Baroque.
It's a rare.
It might be the worst card in the game.
Like what? How?
I can't imagine playing this card.
Yeah, tell us what If It's Not Baroque does, Brett.
So if it's not Baroque, normally is a 3-cost uninkable card. Jeez.
Uninkable, folks.
That says it's an action and you can play it to return an item from your discard pile to your hand.
Also, like, when, where, and why. Like, no.
So you've been holding on to this uninkable card for a long time, hoping that your opponent benches your mouse armor so that you can
get it back. At which point you probably pulled another one.
And by the way,
what?
Your opponent has 19 lore at this point, and they're just they're just trying to like do a fancy combo while on you.
Yeah.
Rather than win the game.
Insanity.
So our the little spice that we've got here, a little change up. Yeah. We're going to make this card say that you can pay that 3 to put that item into play instead.
Yeah, we were talking about this actually the other day when we saw it. It came up in some stream we were watching, or maybe we drew it. I think we pulled it from a pack.
We pulled
right?
our first If It's Not Baroque, and we groaned and said, "Why doesn't it just put it into play?"
Yeah,
there's no reason.
You actually pulled another If It's Not Baroque today, like we were saying before the Enchanted Simba.
Yeah, so I Sharpied on it. Now it says I can put the item into play.
Fixed it.
But yeah, I mean, that'd be totally reasonable to make that change. And, maybe then it sees some use. I mean, say your lucky dime gets axed, you can chuck the lucky dime back into play at a discount. That could be cool. Maybe it sets up some combos where you can throw a dime into your discard pile and play it for a discount. That could be interesting. Maybe you just need to draw a card, so you cycle a popsicle into play for Hiram to banish.
Right.
So, I mean, I think the card would still be pretty bad even if it did put an item into play, but maybe it sees some use.
It would at least make some sense.
Yeah.
It would be like, oh, that's a card that could be used in the game of Lorcana.
Right. Much spicier card now. How about you?
Yes.
You got one for us? You want to spice up a card?
Yeah, the one I've got for you right now is Anna, heir to Arendelle.
Poor Anna.
Poor Anna. So problem number 1, right, is that Anna has 1 card right now. 1 card.
One of the biggest, most popular characters in Disney in the last 30 years.
Elsa has like 82 cards, and Anna has 1. 1 card also where like she doesn't even look that cool in the art.
Dang.
Her mouth is open. She's like, huh?
Shots fired at Anna.
Literally making a huh face.
Yeah.
It's like, can we help my girl Anna out?
Yeah, can we give her some of that pluck and determination?
She doesn't even, look, this is a slight tangent, but in Frozen, lore, fandom, etc., Anna does not get her due. Everybody loves Elsa. Elsa has the cool song. Elsa has the cool dress. Elsa's so neat. No one cares. Anna is doing the work the whole time. Elsa's sitting up there in her castle thinking, I don't know, crying, doing whatever she needs to do to cope. Anna's like surviving and finding her sister and climbing mountains and hello. Anyways, so right now the card says, Loving Heart. When you play this character, if you have a character named Elsa in play, choose an opposing character. The chosen character doesn't ready at the start of their next turn.
Ooh.
It's like, okay.
Pretty conditional.
Yeah, and it makes sense, but it would make more sense if there were like, I don't know, more Annas, more Elsas that could be used in the same deck together. It just doesn't work as it is.
You don't even want to play any of the cheap Elsas.
No, it just doesn't. It's
so
dumb.
You need an exerted character on your opponent's side of the board, and you need to have a bad card in the form of a cheap Elsa on your board, and then play Anna to get a small benefit.
Right. It's crazy. So we would like to change her to say, when you play this character, if you have any princess or queen character in play, exert an opposing character. The chosen character doesn't ready at the start of their next turn. Love it. Right. So like it makes it way more possible to use.
Makes thematic sense.
Yeah, it makes thematic sense. Like, it's great. You can still use it with Elsa. If someday there's a miracle Elsa that can be used with this weird Anna. But in the meantime, you can use it with any princess or any queen. Like, that just opens the door for Anna to maybe get used. Because otherwise, she's not a poorly statted card. She's fine. And she does something. It's just that what she does never happens.
I like it because it's basically half of a big Elsa effect, right? So instead of exerting and keeping two characters exerted like Elsa does, you get half that effect, but it still has a condition attached to it. I love it.
Yeah. Make the change.
I think you could also build a deck around that effect, which would be really, really fun.
Yeah, a real nice princess deck.
Totally.
What about you? What's your next bland card you're going to spice up over here?
I want to talk about Last Stand.
Ooh.
And everybody out there, I know you're saying, Last Stand. What the heck is Last Stand? Because you probably read it once and then erased it from your memory.
Yes.
Last Stand, as it is an action that allows you to banish a character that was challenged this turn. So you have to use one of your characters to challenge an opposing character, and that opposing character then needs to have survived. And then you can play this uninkable action to banish it. So like best case scenario, you're damaging your character and then trading 1-for-1 with this action and that character, right? But most likely what's happening is you're losing a character and you're playing this card to get rid of one character. So extremely conditional. You're
so
2-for-1ing yourself. You're trading 2 cards for 1 most of the time. So here's my proposal. If this is going to be a true Last Stand.
Yeah, tell us about it.
It's an action that banishes all characters who were challenged this turn.
Love it.
Now, I think what this opens up potentially is a really cheap board wipe for a deck that runs a lot of small characters. So like any kind of deck with Rockstar Stitch, where you kind of flood out a few small characters, you can challenge in a few times and then basically say that they have infinite strength that turn.
Right.
So you could end up with a solid board wipe. And then in that situation, maybe you're trading like 3 small characters plus this for 3 opposing characters. That feels maybe a little bit better. I still don't think it's good, but at least there's like a build around potential for a deck in that way.
Yeah, I can at least see a situation in which you could use it now. Especially if you have some kind of a strong board. Maybe you've got Cogsworth out there protecting your stuff, and maybe it won't totally wipe your own board too. Like there's some situations where it could be cool. I could see that. Whereas right now I'm like, why would I ever want to just waste a character?
Yeah.
To kill something I can't kill. And like, what?
Yeah, just quest in their face instead.
Yeah, right. Just quest or like kill something you can kill with that character. It's just odd.
So, we're tasting this new version with this little dab of spice, and it's a little bit better, but it's still not something that I think I would ever enjoy again.
Yes.
What have you got?
The next bland thing I have is a poultry dish. It is Orville. Orville's a great guy. He's the ace pilot.
A great character.
Yeah, a great character. Right now he's a blank 1/4, which is an interesting stat line that you don't often see. So he does have a sizable butt. He's a 2-cost. He's 2-cost inkable, 1/4. So he's a good time. He just never gets used. He quests for 1. He's just kind of like right now. But I think if you just added resist +1 to Orville, right? It works with his character. He's an ace pilot. He's got to have resistance to all the elements out there while he's piloting.
He
right?
flies through all the storms.
Flies through all those storms. Just slap a resist on him, and that's it. I think then he would be a great 2-drop. People use him all the time.
Yeah,
he's a 4, but with resist +1, that would be awesome.
Yeah, he would be very, very, very strong with resist 1.
I think he's a character that will just surely die in the halls of Lorcana, and I would just like to try to save his life.
Yeah, because you're not thinking like, oh yeah, there's definitely a Floodborn Orville coming down the pipe.
There just isn't. Like, this is probably the only time he's going to be in this game.
And you wish that he was a little bit more present.
Yeah, he just always sticks out as being one of the most aggressively bland blank cards that exists.
The rescuers were kind of done dirty, weren't they?
Yeah, it's also like he's just a big white bird on like kind of a white background. It's just this is tough.
And Miss Bianca is functionally Sebastian, like she's just a carbon copy.
Yeah.
Bernard, it doesn't quite do it, does he?
It's just kind of sad.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. So let's pump up Orville. This poultry dish needs some, some additional protein.
Yeah, some Lowry's seasoning salt on this chicken.
Yeah. Speaking of poultry, how about Dive Bomb?
Ooh!
The much maligned Dive Bomb.
You talking about those sweet, sweet teeth on Iago?
Oh, yeah. I love when my poultry has teeth.
Yeah, you know how when you pluck a chicken,
you
also have to take out the chicken's teeth.
Yeah.
Before you can eat it.
Classically, anytime you have any kind of chicken, you have to detooth it.
Oh, I got a tooth in my chicken.
Oh, just crunch it. Just bite down on it. There, you can eat those.
Shows it's fresh.
What's an appendix for anyway?
Ew.
Processing chewed teeth.
Yep.
Yeah. So
what's Dive Bomb? How are you going to fix this atrocity?
I want to remove the cost restriction entirely. So right now you have to use this action and banish your own reckless character to banish an opposing character with less cost. So let's just get rid of that cost restriction so that you can banish your Felicia and to get rid of your opponent's, Chernobog. Then that makes sense a little bit because you're still trading 2 cards in that scenario, but you're getting value and potentially in terms of the cost disparity between your character and your opponent's character. So maybe that makes it somewhat playable. Maybe that makes you want to put a bunch of reckless characters in your deck. Probably not, because you don't want to play that many reckless characters anyway when questing is how you win the game.
Right.
So would this make it a good card? No, by no means. But it would at least make it interesting, and maybe I could see myself making some kind of Ruby control reckless deck with like Taka.
Right.
And Felicia.
Yeah, we're just trying to save its life. I mean, similarly to Anna, right? This is like, it's such a specific weird situation that you're like, when would I ever need that? That's not going to happen. It would be nice to see Dive Bomb maybe have some kind of a usage. A totally reckless deck could be cool someday.
Can I do one more before we get to our little pet favorites?
Yeah, please do.
How about Frying Pan? We need something to cook all this up in.
Yeah.
And this frying pan, it's like somebody put soap on it or something. It just kind of stinks,
Oh,
It's like a cast iron skillet that got soaped.
Oh no.
So I think we need to refresh this pan.
Yeah.
So right now it says that you can banish this item to make it so that an opposing character can't challenge next turn.
Right.
Now, let's just make it so that character can't exert next turn.
Oh, that's nice.
So they can't challenge,
quest.
they can't quest, they can't use abilities. Yeah. You can't, use Jafar. You can't get your Jafar exerted to grab a bunch of lore.
Can't sing.
It makes some more applications, and I can see in certain metas, maybe, if you can't sing Ursula, maybe Frying Pan is a card that could see some play as a tech option in a tempo-based deck where you're just trying to get through another turn.
Right, that could be nice. It's got really cool art. I mean, that's how I always remember that Frying Pan exists, because I like how the art looks.
And it's so thematic, right? You just like instantly think of Tangled with that. So it would be cool if that was a better card.
Yeah. Let's get into some of these pet favorites.
Yeah, so hit me. These are these are a few characters that aren't maybe horrible as they are, but that we would really, really like to see be awesome.
Yeah.
So first up, what have you got?
First one that I have is Minnie Mouse Musical Artist. Now, when this expansion came out, we were so excited for this one.
The art.
The art is just awesome. And I honestly, the thing that I want to change about this is something that I like about this card too. So right now, she costs 2. She's a 1/3, quest for 1, singer 3. And her ability is Entourage. Whenever you play a character with Bodyguard, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. Now, I really like that it's a bodyguard because I get that the bit is that she's like a famous singer and she needs bodyguards, but it just really like stops you from ever being able to use this card because okay, when you play someone, so she already has to exist, you have to play someone with bodyguard and then remove 2 damage from a character, so you can't even heal your bodyguards necessarily with her. Like it's just tricky.
You need her, and there needs to be a damaged character.
Yeah.
And you need to play a bodyguard.
Right. And she's a 2 cost, so you're gonna probably play her on turn 2 sometimes to do nothing.
Yeah.
It's just tricky, and I think it would just be better without the bodyguard requirement. If it was just whenever you play a character, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character.
And Singer 3's potentially good. I mean, there are some good songs that you'd want her to sing, so she's not far from being very good.
Yeah, I think she just gets overlooked because it's too hard of a combo to pull off.
But if it was just any character, then that opens things up a bit.
And she's so cute. The art is just so cute.
Yeah, that outfit's très chic.
Très chic.
All
what
right.
about you?
So, I'm a big fan of Donald Duck.
Yes. What?
And
was he just here right now?
Oh yeah, he just chimed in.
Oh my God.
And I am tickled by the idea of there being a legendary Donald Duck. Donald Duck, not again. I love this card. I love the art. I love the theming of it. I love how it fits in Lorcana. I want this card to be good so badly.
You do.
And I think it works where, the angrier he gets, the more he quests for. Like, that works for me. I love it. But what I would like to do is give Donald Duck 9 willpower.
Yes.
Yes. Let's load him up.
Give him 9.
With 8, not 5, not going from 5. We're not going to go from 5 to 6.
Yeah.
We're not going to go 5 to 7.
No.
We're going to go up to 9.
Yeah, give him 9.
Have
give him a big butt.
Have you seen Donald Duck's butt?
It's massive.
That butt does not quit. He deserves to have a 9 butt.
Yes, he does.
Give the duck 9 butt.
Yes. He agrees.
Yeah.
He's over at the other table right now.
He's pumped about this.
Yeah, he's so excited.
I think we should start a campaign right now.
Yeah.
Give the duck 9 butt.
Give the duck 9 butt. Give the whole restaurant saying it with us now. Yeah. You can't hear this, listener, but they're freaking out.
Yeah, it's because our microphones aren't picking. Oh, yeah.
Give the duck. We love Lorcana.
Wow, everybody's really nice in this
That's crazy.
restaurant.
This is amazing.
So if you hear people chanting "Give the duck 9 butt" wherever you are,
and then you know that it's us.
Yeah, it's this more
turn around
campaign.
And it's us.
Yeah, it's spreading
like wildfire. We got one more bland card here.
One more. It's another pet favorite, a card that we'd like to play, and it just isn't working out in Constructed.
It's definitely a pet favorite. I mean, I think it's up there for one of my favorite cards in all of Lorcana. It's Winnie the Pooh Honey Wizard. He's so good. The art, as I've said before, I would like it on everything that exists. He's so great, but right now he just doesn't get used. He's just blank. He's a 5 cost 5/5 at quest for 2. He's just not doing much. He's just fine, is what it is, right? There's no reason to put him in a deck necessarily. So what I would like to do is give him some kind of a keyword. Maybe it's resist +1. Maybe it's ward. Maybe it's evasive. Just something that makes him a little more enticing, a little more like a Don Carnage, a little more like an expensive Don Carnage, right? That's fine. I honestly, because of the art, would probably just put him in my deck anyways. If he had a little more, if he just had something else that made him a little bit better.
So a more expensive Don Carnage, you're thinking like a 6-cost
Yeah, right,
evasive
exactly.
version. Yeah.
Right. If he had a little more, if he was a little bit bigger, I think he could go all the way.
Evasive could certainly fit.
Evasive would be awesome. I mean, he's a wizard.
Yeah.
He doesn't want people to come close to him.
Ward
You can't touch him.
would also be.
Ward would make sense. Again, he's a wizard.
Yeah. Just some kind of ability. Make
Justice for the honey wizard.
Justice for Honey Wizard. It is too bad because you get the feeling like they can't ever do a Honey Wizard again, right? Like they can't just roll that out. And that card's not going to see play in Constructed, and that is a little bit sad.
It's sad.
Well, I think that these dishes are looking a lot better with the additional spice.
It was honestly a joy putting some spice on these bland dishes.
Yeah.
I think we're ready for our final course here today. Do you feel like dessert today?
Yeah, what should we try? Let's get Francois over here.
Yeah. Hey, Francois.
Oui, madame.
Hi. We loved the main course. It was delicious.
Très bien. I'm very glad to hear that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, nice and we spiced it up nicely. It was really tasty.
Yes, those were perhaps the most unpopular dishes, so we are trying something where we give them a bit of spice, yes.
It definitely works. My compliments to you and the chef.
Merci.
Delicious. We are wondering what you have for dessert this evening.
I think you should try the grey stuff.
Okay, very exciting.
Oh my goodness, the grey stuff.
It's delicious.
It's a new grey stuff dream card.
Ooh.
This is your design, Katie.
Well, it was my thought because of something that you said. So today, after we were opening our packs and we were soaking up the immaculate vibes of the set championship, you were flipping through our collection looking for a card to trade with somebody, or you were just flipping through it, and you said, I'm looking for the gray stuff just off the top of your head. And time stood still. And I thought to myself, that should be a Lorcana card. There should be a gray stuff card. So we worked on this design together, but when we got home and started making a dream card, I was like, it has to be the gray stuff. It came down from the heavens and told me it must be a card. So it is obviously it has to be steel. It is a steel item. Costs 5, inkable. The first ability is called It's Delicious. Your characters get +2 strength.
Nice blanket board buff from the gray stuff. Everybody likes to have a bite.
Yeah, big buff. It's tasty. It's going to give you that boost of energy. The next ability is Unfold Your Menu. So you need to exert to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an item card, you may play that item for free. Otherwise, put it on the top of your deck.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun to play with.
Multifaceted. What's the flavor text at the bottom there?
And the flavor text is, don't believe me? Ask the dishes.
Very good, Lumiere. Very good.
Oh, thank you.
That's one of the benefits of being in Francois' restaurant, I guess.
That's true.
So, I mean, there are some cool ramifications from this card. First of all, just the board-wide buff. Every character becomes a bit more threatening with that +2 strength.
Yeah, nice in the late game, right, where this guy is going to live as a 5-cost item, and I guess in the mid-game here, giving you that boost to hopefully clear a board or clear a location even, right? Just that little extra boost you might need.
Yeah, totally. I think it's interesting because normally when you think, I have to play a 5-cost item, that's a big tempo loss. Like when you play Lucky Dime, you need the time to play Lucky Dime. It's basically your whole turn usually. So similarly, paying 5 for an item, you want it to have some impact on the board. The fact that this immediately lets maybe some characters trade up and maintain some tempo is cool. And then that second ability is really cool to build around.
Yeah, it's bomb. I mean, you want to make a big steel item deck, which is so much fun. You could make a blue steel item deck.
Totally. And if you can find a way, maybe with like that common queen to fix the top of your deck, the common blue queen,
right?
You can fix it so that your dime is on top of your deck, or like your vault door or whatever is on top of your deck, and you can immediately plop them onto the board for free.
Yeah, a mechanic that we've talked about wanting to use a lot because there are so many cards that have you search the top of your deck or put a card back on the top of your deck or put a card at the bottom of your deck. Having more interaction with that is very tempting and very fun.
A nice recipe for the grey stuff, madame.
A nice rare gray stuff. Wowie! Episode 11.
I am zonked.
Me too. we might wake up and realize that we didn't even record an episode and this was all a dream because we're both asleep.
Yeah, so for folks who aren't maybe familiar with how theater production works, there's something called a tech week, which is what I just went through. And that basically means for every day leading up to the opening of a show, you're at the theater for a very long time, incorporating all of the technical elements. So that's what I did last week, and then opened the show and performed it all weekend. You had, rehearsals for your own show at the high school, and then leading directly into the set championships all weekend. So we're recording this late on Sunday night, and luckily you have school vacation this week.
God.
So
I think I would die if it wasn't vacation right now. I don't know how I could possibly do that tomorrow. So I'm very happy that we've got a little week here.
Yeah, hopefully we managed to say something coherent over the last 45 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. Hopefully we listen to this in the morning and it's not just that's more like it.
So next time, what are we going to do?
Next time we're going to talk about some of our favorite cool off-meta decks.
Yeah, man, I don't even play the tier 1 decks, man. I just like to play, like whatever I'm feeling. Like, I don't know, just kind of like whatever I feel.
Yeah, bro, like, I don't know. I haven't even, ever played, any of the decks that you guys are talking about.
I just do my own thing. Like, I don't like to, do what everybody's doing. So, I play off-meta decks,
I just have, a big dive bomb deck that nobody's playing right now.
So... yeah, we're gonna talk about dive bomb decks.
Yeah, dude, you wouldn't get it till you play it. It's just put in some, if it's not baroques and some dive bombs, and you're just cooking.
So we'll have a visit with off meta
Toby.
With off meta Toby next week. Yeah.
Can't wait to be on the pod.
Off-meta Toby's going to come by and tell us about his favorite off-meta decks. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. And maybe we'll do another giveaway.
Maybe we will. You'll have to tune in to find out. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening. Please do give us a like and a follow and a subscribe or whatever on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to us. It helps a lot.
Yes, give us a follow on Instagram. We are at Smorcana. Follow us on Facebook. We're also Smorcana.
On Twitter at Smorcana.
And find us at smorcana@gmail.com as
well.
Yeah,
send us a message if there's anything you are enjoying or not enjoying or want to share about your own experiences at set championships. We are all ears.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep on snacking, friends.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.